Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 34 of All the Mods 3 Expert Mode. I've made some changes to our will crystal setup since the end of last episode. Just want to walk over those real quick. Most obviously there are now more crystal clusters, and it turns out that you don't actually need demon crystallizers under them. You just need the mobs to actually die for this ritual to work. So I wasn't going to make more demon crystallizers because they're kind of a pain to make. Anyways, another change is that in addition to the Ritual of Peaceful Souls to produce mobs, I'm using a Ender IO powered chicken spawner to provide a steady stream of chickens. Basically, the idea, I think it works anyways, is that the ritual will provide the variety of mobs, and the powered spawner will just provide a large number of them, which causes crystal growth to be faster. Lastly, there's a weird thing going on with fans because the range of our pickup thingy, it's 10 blocks, so it goes up to the halfway point on this last block here. So every now and then I had some items getting stuck there, and I don't want to be, especially every now and then I lost a will crystal to it. Like without the fans, that last will crystal there wouldn't get picked up. But there. I have one fan over here pushing them this way, and then a fan over here pushing them that way, and then they get picked up and put into our drawers. I also added slots in the drawers for all the random items the mobs drop, so it doesn't cause lag. Anyways, this is will automation. The natural next step then would be to make our corrupted star metal ingot. However, it's even if I were to just I have all the resources to make it now, but doing so takes a lot of manual work still. I have to, I'm still manually making star metal, manually making the crystallized blood piles, and this stuff takes a lot of steps. It just keeps going. So instead of doing it all manually, I think it's time we set up that dreaded AE system. I mean, it's not actually dreaded, but I managed to go 34 episodes without it. But I think it's time that we set it up. So it's going to take a fair amount of space because a lot of the things we have here we have to duplicate into the AE system. The two easiest options to get more space are to build up or down, and I haven't quite decided which way to go yet. We can go down, build underground, build in just excavate out a large cave and build down there. That's my classic solution. Or we can build up in the sky and just build a platform. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just build a large platform up in the sky. Maybe I'll even make it out of glass so we can see through it. The plan is to just use a builder in build mode with a regular shape card. Turn preview mode on to see, and it'll just be a large platform like that. Flat, featureless. It'll cover up sky access from most of our base, but I don't think most of our base needs sky access. If I ever have to launch a rocket, I guess I'll have to move that or punch a hole in the platform above because we don't want to launch a rocket into a slab of stone. So go. Go. There we go. Haha. And we have night vision, so we can see down here still. And I guess that's all the blocks, huh? It's going to use a lot of stone. But we have night vision, so we can see down here just fine. And there's things preventing mob spawn, so the darkness won't be an actual problem. Boy, is it laggy while the builder is running. I think it's because there's a lot of lighting updates happening, and those are very rough. So we should be done building within the next couple minutes. Now, having built that platform, I realized I forgot something. We have a lot of things in our base that need sky access. All of these crystals don't really work without sky access. You can see our plant growth rate is now not that accelerated. I mean, it's still accelerated because of the sprinklers, but other stuff like our flight ritual, if I turn off my jetpack here, it doesn't work anymore. Maybe it works in a very small radius. No, it doesn't work at all. In fact, you can even see the lights aren't on. So yeah, none of this stuff works without sky access. So I need that to go away. Whoops. I guess we'll be building underground then. Alright, well, we just built it. Now let's void it. I'm sure this will be equally laggy in operation, but see it already getting eaten away. Actually less laggy than I thought, and we can see, well, as these crystals get light access, you can see them like turn on and start glowing again. We should be uncovering this one pretty soon. So right now it's like that dull glow, and oh, I guess not this pass, next pass. And there we go. Now it has a bright glow, and that's the sign that it's working. I guess I did intersect my ladder, but I haven't taken that ladder in 20 plus episodes, so we'll just leave it be. All right. So, anyways, I'm just gonna use that same void card. Why can't I fly it? I guess my flight ritual is still covered. I'm just gonna use the same void card when it's done to excavate a large underground base. All right. So, large underground area to excavate, but with the help of the builder and the time acceleration, it's cleared out. I'm gonna make a quick pass to patch over all the holes in the edge, and then we can use this area for building. Well, it took a little doing, but now we have a room with walls. I now have a base with walls. That's just me and the bats. For some reason, Journey Map refuses to update too, so it doesn't look like I have a base, but that's okay. Next up, we have to actually put something in here. So let's build the, let's start by building the AE2 infrastructure we need. Normally, one of the first things you do in AE2 is you automate the production of the processors, or rather the processors. So typically that involves a large number of inscribers just chained together. However, there's this lazy AE2 mod, so I figured why don't we see about being able to make the circuit etcher to make these various circuits. They can all be made in the circuit etcher, and these the pure Certus has to be made in the pulse centrifuge. So let's pin that and that. Looks like our quarry in the end, despite quarrying the entire main end island, only got 800 odd pieces of charged charged Certus quartz ore. It's a fair bit, but it's less than I had hoped for. Can I get 3 per? I was hoping to get 6 as well, I can get for normal ore. So it looks like we're going to need more Certus quartz ore, and likely that means we're going to need the plant, but I'm going to try to put that off until a little bit later. So anyways, if I grab my flux anodizers, which I guess are already in here, we can process them into 3. I mean, this is, what do I have here, like 15 stacks? That's like 45 stacks of Certus. That should be enough. The base material for this lazy AE2 mod seems to be this carbonic fluix compound. It's used in almost all components of the mod. So for now, we have to make it the inefficient way, which is mixing fluid ducts, pulverized coal, and silicon by hand. Basically, we get per 2 fluix dust, we get 1. Later, we can make it in the Flux Aggregator, but you have to have some to make some the efficient way. So that's the inefficient way it is. We'll start with a stack. And then some of it has to be turned into these ingots, which is smelting this stuff. Okay. Hey, it says, oh no, it's iron. I thought it was steel. Oh, it becomes steel when you cook it. I see. So iron and skystone. Let's make our circuit etcher and see how fast it is. Normally, I make these circuits, ahead of time because they're the circuit making process is very slow. Although if this machine is sufficiently fast, then we don't have to worry about it. Redstone, gold, silicon, and we can make them instead of making them constantly. We can just make them on demand. Like, well, I have plenty of gold, but especially for the diamond processor, the engineering one, right, I only have 1,000 diamonds. So if I were to try to keep a large stock of them at all times, it would very quickly drain my diamond stock to nothing. Unfortunately, this machine is a little slow. This looks like a slot for an acceleration card. Let's try it with a card. Well, an acceleration card helps, but it's still slow. So I guess we will have to have at least some number of, like a small stock of processors, because I don't want to have to wait minutes between, crafts. Oh, they stack in here. How many does it take? Up to 8? Let's try it with it. If it's fast with 8 of these, then I'll just do them on demand like I was talking about. Okay, that's plenty fast. And I like that it directly accepts RF. I like this machine. This is a good machine. All right, so instead of having to build our usual 9 assemblers, and I guess because there's the Elementium processor in this pack as well, right? We would actually need 12 assemblers to keep everything in stock constantly. We can just do it with a single circuit etcher. I like you, circuit etcher. You're my friend. Next machine is the Fluid Aggregator. It as I mentioned earlier, the more efficient production of fluid steel, but it also makes this resonating crystal, which is a necessary component in the pulse centrifuge. That's diamond, skystone dust, and ender dust. I've also added some travel anchors to facilitate going up and down. If you're directly on a travel anchor, it works as an elevator, and if you're not on one and you have a staff of traveling out, you can teleport to them. Flux Aggregator with its max acceleration cards is also pretty fast. I like fast machines, and this mod has fast machines. Thus, I like this mod. Then we have the Pulse Centrifuge. It essentially completely replaces the need for the crystal growth chamber or crystal growth system, whatever, with throwing stuff into water. Has a couple other uses, but mostly it just makes the pure crystals, and it makes your charge. Oh no, it doesn't make charge Certus. I guess the crystal growth chamber never made charge Certus, huh? Does it do Fluix? I guess it doesn't. Oh, okay, I need a Flux Aggregator. Let's do this next to make Fluix, but this just makes all your pure crystals. What am I talking about? We have a Flux Aggregator already. So I think this covers all the major machines in the Lazy AE2 mod, and all the stuff we need to really get started to build out our AE system. Just a quick check to make sure. The preemptive assembly unit, I'm not sure what it's for, but it doesn't have recipes. So I don't know. Maybe I'll find out later. And then the level maintainer, I suspect what this does is, a level limiter and a crafting card. I think that's all you need to know, right? It crafts stuff until a certain level, but I assume it has crafting card behavior. So I'm, basically never use this. And then there's apparently a mass assembler, which, if I had to guess, just holds a lot of assembly patterns. I might look into that, because instead of having to make, if it holds a sufficiently high number of patterns, it'll be worth using this over a massive wall of regular assemblers, especially if they're fast. And this mod is fast. I like that. Besides that, everything else just appears to be crafting components. Oh, well, there's a recipe, huh? Anyways, I think at this point we're ready to then make our E2 controller. Not that one, this one. Because they're kind of a pain to make, takes plutonium and empowered Inori, I think we'll go with a small controller this time. In fact, how much do I have? I'm 9 Inori and 2 plutonium, huh? I haven't been running my nuclear reactor recently because I didn't think I needed it, but apparently that was a false statement. Let me see. I should have some leftover spent fuel. Where is it hiding? 12? Alright, well, I guess we'll only have like 3 or 4 controller blocks. I was hoping there was an easy way to make plutonium using UU matter. In fact, I even turned on the config to show UU matter recipes, but it doesn't seem to show all of them. I know iridium ore, right, is made with like the eye pattern, and it's not shown here. So I guess even when you tell IC2 to stop screwing me, it keeps screwing me. Thanks, IC2. I knew I could count on you to do one thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you put this config option in if setting it to false, right? Enabling secret. So turning this to false should show me all the secret recipes, but even when I do so, it decides to not show me all the secret recipes. I don't know. Anyways, there doesn't appear to be a plutonium recipe, and I couldn't find one on the wiki. So if there is one hiding somewhere, congratulations, Industrial Craft, you've managed to hide it from me. with only 6 controller blocks, we don't exactly have the world's largest ME controller, but my plan for the ME system in this pack probably doesn't involve needing more channels than we have from this. I'll still run P2P channels, just because that involves using less dense cable overall, and dense cable is just, annoying to make. Well, mostly dense conduit, but it takes a lot of conduit binder. So anyways, now I just have to, let's see, what do I want to do first with this? I guess I want to hook up the machines we have to the, well, no, I should set up my terminal so I can actually see what I'm doing, huh? That would be a good start. Put in enough wiring anyways to get, the basics, which include a crafting terminal, a pattern terminal, and an interface terminal. And I always forget to set the mode on this. So my peripheral preference is JEI standard synchronized keep. That means it's standardized with JEI. Standard as opposed to auto. So when you open the UI, it doesn't like put focus into the search bar, and keep means it keeps what was previously searched. Cool. Anyways, as you can see, we can see some of our items in there, and that's because I have it hooked up with a storage bus to our drawer controller here. As for our bulk item storage, I'll probably, actually, how bad our 64K item storage is. Look, not vanilla crafting recipe. Alright, we're not going to use these because I don't have a good way to mass produce thaumium yet. So I'll probably stick to all these storage crates then, and then just put storage buses on them all, at least for now. At some point, I'll, once I do have a way of mass producing thaumium, we can switch over to digital storage. But for now, another advantage of keeping most of our items in those crates is that our tablet keeps working. Although I think we're also pretty close to getting the wireless controller thingy. Anyways, now that we have this, let's hook our our ME system up with the crafting for the components of our ME system, and we'll make those our first auto-craftable items. Even though we're using different machines to craft our processors, they still encode the recipes all the same. Processing recipes, inputs become outputs, yada yada yada. I guess I should also encode the recipes for making these crystals, and nothing to encode here, nothing to encode here. Let's get pure fluid. Alright, so we still need crafting CPUs. I just made two 16K ones. I'm sure inevitably I'll have to upgrade those in size, but for now they'll do the trick. So into the circuit etcher goes all of these, and into the pulse centrifuge goes these. Alright, let's try it out. Oopsies, I can't make a crafting request with this tablet. So we only have, let's pick one I don't have a lot of, 44 engineering processors. Give me 100 more. Start. And you should be working now. Aha! Our first auto-crafting operation. The handling of crafting recipes, that is, stuff that goes in this grid, is typically done with molecular assemblers. However, let's try using the Lazy AE2 mass assembler for that. I looked it up on the wiki. Its purpose is, it's effectively to replace the molecular assembler. So, yeah, it's a big multi-block. Well, it's a multi-block. The size is up to you. I'm going to do it with 5x5 exterior or 3x3 interior. The number of interior spaces determines how many coprocessors or patterns you can fit in it. So 5x5 is basically as small as it can reasonably be made, and then if it works out, I'll build a bigger one. So each pattern provider holds 36 recipes, or effectively 4 assemblers worth. So this is, by using 4 pattern providers, that's effectively 16 assemblers worth of recipes, which is not nearly enough for, any pack ever. But right now I'm just going to build a small one to test it out, because building all these components is non-trivial at the moment, because I can't auto-craft them because they're crafting recipes, right? And I can't do crafting recipes until I build this. It's occurred to me that with a 3x3 or like a 3 wide cube, I don't have 9 interior slots, right? It's not 3 by 3, it's 3 by 3 by 3, so I have 27 interior slots. So this is actually bigger than I expected it to be. I only have 8 interior components, but that's fine. The interior components are allowed to be air as well. So it's the edges have to be assembler frames, the non-edge walls, what do you call them? I guess walls are vents, and then the interior is either coprocessors or pattern providers, or air. So we're only using 8 of our available 30 or 27 slots. I also grossly overestimated how many vents I needed. So, whoopsies. Spent a long time crafting things I didn't quite need yet. Once you build the multi-block, I think you right-click the controller, and it forms, and then I just assume you hook up your cables, or my conduits, to the controller. Does it connect? Aha! And then you can right-click anywhere, and your recipes are here. Now I'm pretty sure that this doesn't actually take patterns. So if I want to encode crafting patterns, say for I don't know, crafting table. Right, if I want to encode the crafting table pattern, that's not the pattern terminal. Normally you encode this pattern and then you put it into a molecular assembler. Well, it doesn't matter whether or not that's off, but this doesn't. Oh no, it does take patterns. Never mind. I thought you directly inputted the recipe. So I guess you don't do this. Okay. Never mind what I was saying. It does take patterns. It's a lot of bars here. I'm not quite sure what they all mean. Let's see what happens if I request a bunch of crafting tables. Give me 200 crafting tables. That looks good. And this starts crafting them. And I guess the number of coprocessors determines how fast it crafts, as opposed to using speed upgrades. So, I mean, I may as well, I have the space, right? I may as well jam extra coprocessors and pattern providers in there. The good news is now I can AutoCraft these coprocessors. So if I want 9 total, I don't have to do all this microcrafting by hand anymore. Aha! And there we go. They're rolling right in. Nice. One downside of using this, however, is that the recipes don't show up in the interface terminal. I have to actually right-click the assembler. Thankfully, I built the assembler right next to my pattern terminal. Dumb luck, I guess. So that's not really a problem, but something to keep in mind. Now, to add blocks to it, I think it said how do I break the multi-block? Shift right-click. Nope, just breaking any component is enough. And I'm going to assume it doesn't void the recipes inside. So there we go. Now we have 9 coprocessors. Build the multi-block and right-click that again. Good, it keeps your recipes. And then now I can also order my crafting storages. Let's see, what was it called? Not crafting coprocessor. Oh, apparently I didn't encode the recipe yet. Well, I think there are 14 slots left available in our multi-block. So let's fill them all with pattern providers. I mean, air doesn't do anything, right? So no sense leaving any air in. And watch it trickle in. So now every slot's taken up. If I want more room, I have to, make this entire thing bigger, which is fine. According to the wiki, it scales up to 512 block volume. I don't know if that's interior or exterior volume, but in any event, like that's huge, right? That's an 8 by 8. I think 8 cubed is 512. Yeah, I'm like 80% sure that's a true statement. So if we need more space, it can get bigger. But you see now we have 18. Wait, where did all my patterns go? I trusted you. Oh, no, okay, never mind. Whew, I got scared there. They're just hiding on page 2. I would have been real unhappy if my patterns got deleted. Let's move. Well, I guess it doesn't matter what page they're on. They can show on page 2. That's fine. I guess each page is probably one pattern provider worth. Right, this is 9 by 4, 36. Yeah, so I guess I was previously putting my patterns into provider number 1, but they got re-enumerated when I added more. Whatever, that's fine by me. The next natural step, and perhaps the most boring one, is to start putting our conventional machines onto the network. So, I need to put a furnace on the network. I need to put our induction smelter. What I'll probably do is I'll leave most of the infrastructure we have up here intact, just so that I can use it for, manual crafting if need be. But otherwise, I'll just make a copy of all of these machines because they're not that expensive, and set them up directly on the ME system. For some, like I think these Ender IO machines where I have a limited supply of capacitors, I'll probably just move these because there's no point running these with a basic capacitor. They're too slow to be meaningfully useful. But that step is likely going to take me multiple hours and be extremely boring. So I'm not going to make you sit through it. How about we just end the episode here today? When we come back next time, I'll have all of it done, between episodes, because it really makes for pretty, pretty awful content, if we're being honest. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Our ME system is finally up and running, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.